Good morning to day 14 of the 30 days of singing. I'm very nearly at the halfway point. I can't believe it, but also I'm feeling quite daunted at the prospect of still having another 16 days to go beyond this. Anyway, we're now at the midweek point also, and historically Wednesday has always been the day of the week where I try to be a little bit more philosophical about the things that I share to do with singing. And last week, if you remember, I did a little kind of video about Whimsical Wednesday and all the wonderful things that singing can bring us. During the week, when I'm sort of browsing on the internet, I will bank articles or quotes or things that will generally inspire the deeper question behind why we love to sing and what it does for us. And today is no difference. I've actually got a lovely article that I shared from The Guardian earlier in the week about a gentleman who is an opera singer with Welsh National Opera. His name is Brindley Sherratt, and he's talking about something which many of us singers have in common, and that is a kind of disbelief that we're good at what we do. There's that kind of underlying lack of confidence, and I know that lots of new singers share this right from the beginning, and this can be the very thing that actually will stop somebody finding out if they have a voice. And of course, my investment in my business over the years has been helping people to find their voice and enjoy their singing. So what I'd like to do with this today's 30 days of singing entry, my video vlog I suppose, is to share some of the points that he makes in the article, and then I'll put the link to the article below this video so you can read it, the whole thing for yourself. I think he makes some really pertinent points, and certainly these are things that I witness in people that I teach and conversations that we have. And because I can indulge myself a little bit on Wednesday in thinking about the more philosophical side of singing and all that it brings to us, then I thought, why not? That's what I'm going to share today. So just let me pause the video and I'll get things set up so that my arm is not going to fall off from holding up my phone. Just hold on. Okay, so this man, Brindley Sherratt, he has written this article for The Guardian, and it's entitled Singing, I'm Still Trying to Get the Hang of It, so you can guess the flavour. One of the things he says is that people often ask where you train, and I can corroborate that, as if 4 years at music college eons ago was all that was really needed to launch and sustain a career. Now, it's really weird, you know. It's like, how can I liken this to? Singing is not one of those things that you can just learn and then that's it, you've got it. It's a lifelong journey. That someone like Pavarotti, for example, considered himself to be a perpetual student of the voice. And that voices and bodies change. Life throws curveballs, and the singer, if only to keep bread on the table, has to rethink and adapt on a regular basis. And then he goes on to say that he thinks that that's what's called developing a technique, which is not, as people sometimes think, just about singing absurdly fast and high. Now that, you know, that's what I think, that it isn't all about, you know, the really fast and furious exercises. It's actually about knowing how your body is coping with this idea of learning a skill, how to sing well. It's about digging deep, he says, and finding a way to produce the goods time and time again, even when you really don't feel like it. Here I will say it's that neuroplasticity coming back again, where you're thinking about the chemical, the structure, and then the function, right? So you find a way to learn how to sing so that you can do it at a drop of a hat and with no real disservice to the voice. He goes on to talk a little bit about his own career, and being a man, of course, he has it slightly easier than us poor women who often have to fight tooth and nail to get a really good career going in opera. But they do get to play an array of roles like kings, priests, ghosts, monks, and the occasional psychopath. Dads and granddads with at least one foot in the grave. So there's plenty of scope and hopefully years of work ahead. And he comments that being a bass, he rarely gets that star billing that's usually reserved for the tenors and the number one dressing room, but we don't go on for a very, very long time. But we do go on for a very, very long time. And he says, and this is the quote they put in the side of the article, even when we are really decrepit, if we are able to get onto the stage and face the front, then somebody will employ us. He talks about his singing, the teaching he received as an early singer, and talks about his formidable singing teacher who looked like Mrs. Doubtfire with a Scottish accent to boot. And then there's one paragraph where I'll finish today, I think. He says this, and it is so true. Singing is a personal thing. Our own body makes all of the sound, which is then tempered by our own experiences and personality. When we get up there, we make ourselves very vulnerable, and that explains why, perhaps even more than other performers, we get really hurt by criticism and rejection. They said no, they chose him. Unfortunately, these are regular visitors, and it seems to be the greatest need for a singer is to develop a thick skin and good friends, but also to realise that there are many factors at play when it comes to casting, not just your own abilities. And then he finishes with a tongue-in-cheek comment, although of course there is always the possibility that you are just rubbish. Well, I don't think he's rubbish, but so here I am trying to discuss this slightly more kind of in-depth reason as to why it's important to try to follow your singing desires if that's what you want, and that these insecurities that you might feel about your voice and how it sounds are shared by many singers, and partly that is the joy of discovering other people, like-minded people, to join hands with and sing with and experience music with. That is the true joy. And I would encourage on this whimsical Wednesday that you do something today that will make your heart sing. Okay, so that's it for day 14. More tomorrow, and maybe soon a live broadcast rather than a recorded one which I later upload. Don't know, see how I feel. But anyway, it's the middle of the month tomorrow, so I better start changing my gear a bit. Okay, enjoy your day. More soon. Bye for now.